The Acolyte was cancelled after only one season, but as it turns out, this might not have been a decision that was made some time ago, and that it was actually made post D23, and that up until that point, everybody was still on board and season 2 was greenlit. So let's talk about what happened. So everything we've learned recently in regards to the Acolyte paints a different picture. As far back as February, they were already assembling a whole team of directors to work on season 2. And as far back as recently at D23, they were still actively working on things related to Acolyte, including tie-in books, and everybody was apparently under the understanding that there was going to be a follow-up season. Up until, well, just recently, about a month removed from D23, we learned that they are not moving forward with a second season, which has, depending on which side of the fan base you land on, has either become the best decision Disney's ever made or the dumbest decision because we're never moving past the Skywalkers. Whatever side you land on, I think it's pretty safe to say that, yeah, this decision seems to have blindsided everybody involved with the series. And personally, I understand. I had a lot of issues with the first season. Trust me, I did. Like, the pacing of the thing, how it bounced back with the storytelling, and the runtime, and how much time was wasted on certain elements that went nowhere, was honestly it was a waste of time. But overall, I liked what they were going for, and I thought some of the lightsaber stuff was some of the best we've seen in the Disney era. So the fact that people seem to have been under the impression that we're getting back to this, and there's been some reports, and again, nothing official, that they were gearing up to start production by the end of the year, it makes me wonder what exactly happened and why did Disney do this. And a part of me is guessing that this is Bob Iger making the calls, because if you guys remember during the last investors call, he said they're cutting back on content. Expensive Disney Plus content, it's not going to be happening anymore. It's got to be cheap content that's easy to produce. Hence why we're getting things like Daredevil Born Again, which, again, I'm not saying it's cheap, but it is cheap, all things considered. It's going to cost like a third of what the Acolyte cost. So this makes a lot of sense. And if you look at the other reports about other canceled Star Wars projects, or how they're just pulling back on Disney Plus as a whole, I think it's pretty telling that this thing was, for the better part of this year, fully in development and everybody committed, and then I guess the axe dropped, right? So we'll see what happens next, but I'm assuming this is the end of everything Acolyte, and Disney doesn't tend to follow up with comics or books on dangling plot threads like a Solo, so I guess this will be the end of that story.